So I'm just going to take a piece of wire and we're going to prepare it. We're going to actually just join these two pieces of wire together. If you're an individual that works with circuit boards and everything, I'm sure you know what you're doing. It's a whole different world, but this is more or less for hobbyists. I'm just demonstrating that anybody can do this. You know, if you're a musician and you like to do some work on your own instruments, or you do automotive work, this comes in really handy. Basically, we're going to twist these together. That's ideal. You know, twist your wires together. And I'm just going to put it on these helping hands here to assist us there. Okay, so the solder that you use for electrical work, you want to make sure that you get the resin core solder. This is silver bearing, and it's resin core solder for electrical. Okay, there's another type, acid core, but obviously you don't want to use that. Have yourself a moistened sponge handy for cleaning your tip on your soldering iron. That's really important to make sure that the tip on your soldering iron is clean. Okay, always it's a good idea to clean the tip. I always add a little solder to it, like so, just and then shake it off, wipe it. That helps clean the tip and prepare it for your work. Okay, this is pretty simple. We're just going to come up from underneath, and we're just going to lay the soldering iron against the work and let that heat up. What this will do is that as I'm feeding the solder, it'll have a wicking effect. It'll flow all through the wire. So it's not quite heated up yet. It's fairly heavy gauge wire. So now this soldering iron here goes up to about 900 degrees Fahrenheit, but I think ideally a 30-watt iron will do about 700. Which is perfect for doing general automotive work or working on instruments and such. Yeah. The hotter the iron, of course, that's for larger pieces that you're soldering, because it requires more heat to heat them up. You just have to be careful not to overheat your components to burn them. So it's going to take a little bit. Just be patient, hold it on there, it'll definitely heat up. I've just turned this iron on not too long ago, so it's probably taking a little while. Here we go, it's starting to flow. Now I'm not touching it to the iron, I'm going along the wire. It's wicking, and you just pull it away. Once it flows and you have where you've got a good connection, you pull it away. You don't move your iron around unless you're going across. Now of course I could probably seal that a little bit more, but we're good. That's a good joint there. I'm going to let that cool for a little bit. Turn this iron off. You see it's filled in, and it's pretty hard to pull that. It's a good joint. The same principle applies, well, if you're soldering a wire to, say, a component or a tang on a capacitor or a resistor or something. But I'll demonstrate this a little bit. But anyway, from here you could always just take some shrink wrap tubing like this. That would be ideal. I could probably use a little bit larger one. Those are the thickness of the wire and joint. There we go. And then just apply heat to it. You can use a heat gun, you know, like a paint remover, or I've got a small portable piezo torch that also works pretty well for this. And then just heat it up, and there you have it. So not a big deal. And there you have it. That's a good joint. What I was going to demonstrate, if you're going to solder a piece to an end, like to a tang or a component or something like that, what you want to do is you want to tin the edge of the wire first. And what I mean by that is simply what we did here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to tin this little wire here to prepare it for attaching. There we go. And it's just a little bit of solder on the end of it, and that's tinning. Okay, I picked up some Fralin pickups. That's what's going to go in to this guitar, and they're the Blues Special. I've routed a ground wire, which is going to sit up underneath the bridge when I put that on, so that will sit underneath the bridge there. I'll have it come through one of the screw holes and get that put on there for grounding the bridge. And I'm going to start with these, with the bridge pickup. So I'm going to route these through, twist them a little bit, and route them through the channel. I've got the bridge pickup wired through. Unfortunately, I had to remove the ground wire going to that, going to the bridge back over to here. I didn't see a need for it. I ran some tape to make sure that this would be grounded, and there's continuity throughout it. So I just didn't see a need for that wire, and because it was tough getting 4 wires through that narrow channel. So anyway, I got these through there. They advise to twist them a little bit going through, which also takes up more room. So now I've got the neck pickup. You have to be careful handling these. And this particular model, this does not mount to the pickguard like some of the later models guitars do. So this has no screws. I guess I could do that, but this mounts directly into the cavity itself with spacers. So right now I'm going to fish this through this channel and then down through this channel to the controls, and then I should solder it up, and it should be fine. I'm going to try and save these tags here. Just move them up into the channel. I don't think they'll interfere. So anyone that might have the guitar in the future, it'll help identify what type of pickups that are in there. So I'm going to try and fish these through here. It's always nice to have some tweezers, small instruments, tools. I use some old dental instruments sometimes. I've also got a set of jeweler's tweezers. They really do come in handy for stuff like this. So we'll just go ahead and fish that on through. I'll have to, certain parts parts of this that they recommend don't handle. So, oh yeah, I forgot to open that up. I guess it would help. There we go. There we go. Easy peasy on that one. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're ready to solder it up. Okay, got the 2 ground wires stripped back, and I'm going to twist them together and tin them with solder prior to soldering on the volume potentiometer, or pot. Yeah, that's where they both go. So they're going to terminate right here. So there's some old solder in a couple of places. I can probably use that, but I'm going to tin them first to do it. I found another way to strip these back if you don't have a pair of strippers. This works really well, as you know, which I meant to show before. If you just take a very sharp blade and just kind of rotate it, cutting through the you know, the fabric or the cloth, because these are cloth covered or insulated wires, you can kind of feel when you go through into the wire itself a little bit, and then just pinch it back. See, it comes off, and then this is like a paper or very yeah, there it is. It's just fibrous. You can just pull that back, just tease it like so, and then what I did was just take a pair of scissors and cut that away. Yeah, and that works. It might even be a better way to do it, because you have more control. And sometimes these things can still be too aggressive. Yeah, there we go. And we won't waste too much time on that, but you can trim them back and clean it up prior to soldering. There they go. So I'm going to do that. So anyway, we'll get this set up. Oh, I forgot to plug in my, or turn it on. I'll just turn this on. I'll be back. Wiring on this, it has the large pots. This is you know, this is Fender 3-way switch, and I've checked the specs on this with the book that I'm using right here, and this is comparable to around 1966. I want that wiring so that way I have tone control for both bridge as well as the neck pickup. The one going back, you know, this is obviously the butterscotch with the black pick guard. I guess it predates 1966, going back to around 1953, but I wanted more control, so I've confirmed the wiring on this and it's all good. So basically we're ready to roll. Let's see, go that way. Probably be easier to lay this down and do my thing on that. So that'll be the next step. I advise investing in some protective cloth. This is special heat resistant material for soldering. I was using it for flame soldering, doing some automotive work a while back, and invested in it. So it's always good to protect your instrument when doing this. But so anyway, let me get all this set up and come back. Okay, let's see if we can tin this. Okay, so we got it tinned together, and I'm going to try and attach it right over to here where this solder is, this solder joint. This is probably going to be the most difficult to solder. I'm going to come in at this angle here, so I'm just going to try and heat this up. See if she'll take. We were successful in getting this one soldered, and we did get it soldered onto that finally. Appears to be a pretty good soldering joint. And now this one going from the, this goes to the neck pickup over to terminal 1 on the right side, and this one goes to terminal 4 according to the diagram here. Yeah, so that's where we're going. We've got everything soldered. It's good joints finally. Like I said, I'm not an electrical person here for soldering, but so we're going to feed that into the channel. This is the jack. I saw where one guy had actually run some copper shielding down through there, and I noticed that on this particular body I have some type of a metal thing here. I just didn't think that was going to be a feasible option. See if we can get that through there. There we go. Come on. There we go. We got it through. And we can just lay all of the wires in here. Gingerly. I'll go up and get the hardware, start putting this stuff back together. Get everything soldered, getting all the hardware back in. Okay, I got that piece back in there. Alright, so let's see. What's nice on these pickups by Fralin is this has already got a shield plate on it as well on the back side. It's really sweet. So let's see. Oh, the bridge. Yeah, this mounts to the bridge. And they did provide some screws for that. The machine, there's 3. I see, that's almost like a wood screw there. I don't know what that would be for, but there's 2 of them. Oh, that's probably for if the neck pickup attaches to the pick guard. It goes that way. I'm going to be using these with the spacers, I believe, because they're going straight into the body. Give you, looks like a little extra spacer. But let's see. I better change out my blade here. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. all back together. Now ready to put the neck on it, throw some strings on it, and get it set up. See how it works.